Let the games begin. Arisu is back in the Borderlands as he's trying to rescue his wife and maybe bring an end to these games once and for all. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment, here to review Season 3, Episode 2 of Alice in Borderland. Episode 1 ends with Arisu getting back into the Borderlands, and then we see the brand new game beginning as he enters the temple. And yeah, we get the new game basically beginning episode 2. It's called Fortunes. We've got Arisu and a bunch of new characters that we've never met before, all standing in this temple. And they have to basically pick, not straws, but it's like fortunes. So the game's called Fortunes, and they have to pick these sticks that are almost like key-like sticks that unlock these boxes. And each one has an equation. Well, apart from the first one, we get this drunk guy, this drug dealer type character who steps up, just looks like a junkie, and he gets lucky. His first box, nothing wrong with it. There's no equation to work out. Oh, God blessing, you're going to get good luck. However, the next 9 people that draw lots, they unfortunately have to answer questions. Everybody gets them wrong. Not one question was right, by the way. They get them all wrong. And then this proceeds with flaming arrows being thrown all over the place. The first person to get... the second person that got their question wrong, and they got like an arrow through the neck. And then it basically was... each it didn't really make much sense. I know the rounds are getting more difficult, but if you're drawing these numbers at random, then there's nothing to suggest that each round should get more difficult. Because if you're drawing the numbers at random, then round 9 could be easier than round 8. But the way this game worked out, every round, the margin to be wrong with each question got worse because
it grew larger. The last game,
yeah,
he was off by 100 million, which resulted in 100 million flaming arrows, which is insane.
Yeah, so we see basically, I don't get it. Arisu's smart, but he wasn't smart enough to answer any of these riddles correctly.
Well, what I would say is...
he had a bunch of people.
He did, I think he actually gave the right answer on a few occasions, but the problem is the person who pulled the thing out
had the final say, and they went...
they were just going with the wrong answers half the time, which is... I mean, again, I understand that people were panicking, but it was a game that... I think the problem with this season is that the games are actually... In concept, they're good, but I feel like the execution doesn't really work most of the time.
Yeah, so there would be I think the first one was something, I think there was the answers were 15, 18, and if you got it wrong, then obviously the margin you got it wrong by, that's how many flaming arrows would be shot, and it would say that, it would give a direction, and it would say that this is your unlucky direction. So for example, you're going to have bad fate coming from northeast, and then all of a sudden if you got it wrong, by, let's say, 5, the 5 flaming arrows would get shot from the northeast direction. So they get to... Arisu runs about, saves a few people. One of the women gets shot in the leg, but the junkie guy apparently also stitches himself up anytime he's in trouble because he doesn't want to go to the hospital or else he'll get arrested. So he manages to patch her up. They get to the final question, and the question is, what is the population of the Earth? Arisu goes for 8 million. But the actual answer is 7.9. I think this would be difficult because the population of the Earth is always growing.
The problem for me is here, though, right? It's what happens if someone just takes the piss and says, if someone just takes the piss and goes 400 billion, which means they're off by 392 billion.
Yeah, but...
Is there 392 billion arrows? That would blow up the world.
Yeah, but at this point in round 10, does it really matter if you're off by see if it's 4 billion arrows or 100 million, does it really matter? I know 4 billion is a lot more, but 100 million is more than enough to just fucking completely destroy that place.
No,
I don't think it really matters at that point.
I like there's a few other questions, like how long does it take the blood to get around the body? 30 seconds, 50 seconds, 80 seconds, I think it was 50 seconds.
There was a question, how many litres of blood does a cow need to make?
I was 432.
What the fuck is that?
Now, obviously, a cow doesn't have 432 litres of blood, but it just shows you how much it must get recycled around its body to produce it. That makes sense, though, if you think of it.
Yeah, but I thought that question was mental. Then, when Arisu gets his final question wrong, the arrows are coming, and I don't know. Maybe it's because there was that many arrows, but these ones definitely took longer to get there.
Aye.
Question 2, the first arrow shoots her in the fucking neck instantly, but the 100 million arrows, I guess for plot purposes, takes about 30 seconds to get there. But then Arisu remembers, wait, all these questions that have resulted in arrows being fired, they had the direction that the arrows was coming from. And he then recalls Tetsu, the guy that drew the first lot. He had a good fortune lot, and there was no arrows. So he determines, we need to find out what direction yours came from. But that guy's threw away his slip, so he doesn't know. Arisu then remembers that when he was coming into the temple, he walked upstairs, and that there was enough room under the stairs for perhaps a secret tunnel. So they managed to find everyone else's slips, and they get the one direction that didn't have bad luck. They run there. And yeah, Arisu discovers a underground passage, and they manage to get under there, sneak away, and I'd say about 10 of them, 9 of them manage to survive.
But see, Arisu gets through, man. It's like the flames are engulfing him, and there's not even like an ounce of smoke on him. He's like, come on here, Arisu. What sort of fucking powers have you got?
Yeah,
son?
the guy left it way too late. I know he jumped into the underground passage, but arrows could have followed him in there.
No, you're right, there was 10 of them. How many of them tried to help move the concrete slab? 3 of them. It's a fucking concrete slab, folks.
Could you argue, though, that 10 people trying to move it could just be a bit tricky, especially if you're pulling in different directions? How many people do you really need to move a concrete slab?
I'd want the more the merrier.
You
would rather 10 people trying to lift it than 3?
Yeah, but imagine 10 people trying to gather around and make room for it.
It's life or death. They should be fucking channeling in their inner John Cena, man. Firing at the fucking road.
And then one by one, you'd be like a dolphin diving in there, wouldn't you?
I after you, to me, to you. It's like, no, just get fucking down the hole.
Yeah, anyway, they managed to survive, and we get a little bit of bonding, I guess. I think the group realised that they have all been here before. So, I mean, they've all played the games before and won.
I've played these games before.
There is a lot of similarities, I think, between Squid Game and...
Here it gets more.
And because Squid Game came out first, I've got to assume that Alice in Borderland just copied it. Now, the first 2 seasons were based on the comic book, but the comic book finished after season 2. So season 3 is not based on...
Why would you copy...
So season 3 is based on nothing. So what I think they've just done is based on Squid Game.
Yeah, but you know what though? As weird as that, well, here it's plausible. But Squid Game didn't come out that long ago. There's no way they could have written it knowing what they did. Know what I mean? We're not talking about Squid Game came out years ago. Like season 2 and 3 of Squid Game are months ago, not years. But you're right. There's so many uncanny connections.
Maybe the writers are best friends or something.
Maybe they call it's not the greatest season in the world. We'll leave it there.
It's not bad though, is it? I just don't really care for many of the characters.
I've got a problem with the Subway game, but that's not this episode. So we'll move on.
Right, then we go into a new game called Zombie Hunt, and sounds pretty good, but in reality it's just a card game. And I feel like there's been a lot of card games.
This game got... No, man, yeah, you're right. There has been a lot of card games, but this was just a clusterfuck, this game, man. See the rules of them explaining it? It was about 20 minutes. Vaccine card. Zombie. Everybody's got a shotgun card, but obviously, if you're a zombie, you don't want them knowing you've got a shotgun card.
That's what I will say about some of these games. I feel like they're overcomplicated. There's times when they'll explain the rules and you go into the game and I'm not really sure exactly how to win, or it is a bit and I actually originally thought, you know the way there was 4 teams of 10?
Yeah.
I actually thought it was going to, when it said that the team with the most people alive at the end wins, I thought it meant with the 4 teams. I thought the 4 teams were playing against each other. I didn't realise till like pretty much towards the end, oh no, it's humans versus zombies.
Yeah.
I thought it was whoever had the most of their original 10 team members left survived. Anyway, we get introduced to a new character called Ray. Someone with blue hair. Just looks like an anime kind of character. Like, I mean...
Yeah, nothing more, nothing less here. But again, this... I feel like all these games, they look good on paper, but the way they execute them, it's kind of just fucking cringe at almost.
Yeah, so if you're a zombie, you have to try and recruit other zombies. If you play your zombie card, then you infect the other person. But if the other person plays their shotgun card, then they kill you and you die. or they can play their vaccine card and you no longer are a zombie. But if you run out of all your cards, then you die anyway.
But see this game, folks, right? This was always destined for the zombies to win. I know Arisu will figure that out in the next episode, but if you think of it, 40 people, 4 are zombies, 36 are not. There is no way after one round anyone's going to be able to tell who a zombie is. So therefore, you're going to have 8. You're going to have 8 against 32. I just don't see how it was ever destined for the people who were humans to survive this. You were always going to have to get turned.
Yeah, but you know what? I feel like that kind of fucked up that game in Season 2 as well. See the one where the tag one? Where it was that female?
Yeah.
And they started off 4 against 16. And whoever had the most... No, and the king and the queen. What was it called? Checkmate?
Aye.
Because see the fact that... The only way she could really win that, in my opinion, would be if they managed to get the checkmate before the final round. Because see, once they go into the final round, like, what's this? There's nothing to stop all the red people just going up to that blue guy and saying, tap me.
No. But it was the same in this, but this game carried on to episode 3, didn't it? So I guess we'll talk about that there. But an alright episode. Is that how did it end?
Yeah, and then see, but back to that checkmate game, it's like, see by the time it gets to like 10-10, it's like, why the fuck wouldn't you just switch over to the other team?
You know?
Because you know I die.
Yeah, exactly.
So see as soon as it got 11-9 and it was confirmed that the other team was going to win. See the other 8 players that were on the Queen's team. Like, why wouldn't they purposely just give themselves up?
Yeah, I know. They're always Floyd. Floyd? Floyd Money Mayweather. The problem is they try and create these...
See if this review makes anywhere near the amount of money Floyd Mayweather makes, then I'll be in the money.
I think in these games, simplicity is key. I don't think there's a need to overcomplicate it. I look at the best games in this and Squid Game. I just believe...
Simple games?
Simple games were the best ones.
I would say about Squid Game, I think the majority of Squid Game games are simple.
No, they are. No, not totally.
But the Squid Game games are supposed to be kids' games, so I mean, therefore they are kind of simple.
Yes, but these ones... I get it, right? You get to like the final season, you need to like one up, but yeah, it's like this game. It was just weird the way they split up into groups, and then the bad guys were like, "Oh, we're going to use him with your shotgun card. You're going to kill him." But see at the end of the day, though, it does make sense why they would begin to like, right? Well, we need to start killing zombies, but then it would never make sense for zombies, even if questioned if they are a zombie, to admit they're a zombie.
Yeah, now, could you use a shotgun card on someone who wasn't a zombie?
I think you could, but then it wouldn't work. It would like null and void it because you weren't using it on a zombie.
Could you use the shotgun card on someone who was a zombie but didn't play the zombie card?
But see, I'm not too sure. I don't know. That's why I think it's overcomplicated. You could put 5 cards down, but I'm pretty sure you had 8 cards or something.
Yeah, either way, I think it's most people put down 2 cards, but I did see a few people put down 3. So either way, the episode ends with Ray, the new character, being introduced, and she's got a strategy to prevent infection. And yeah, pretty much that's it. Really, she comes up with a plan with Arisu. But there's some aggressive players there, and they've decided, fuck it, the best way for us to win is not to try and cure the zombies, but they want to try and kill the zombies. So
I think that's what Season 3's lacking. A proper antagonist. I know we can say, oh, the guy in the wheelchair, he's got some heelish tendencies, but at the end of the day, man, I want somebody that's a fucking evil bastard.
Yeah, you kind of had that in the previous seasons, and then also you had, I guess in season 2, you also had many antagonists in the Game Masters, but...
No, it's just like... It's just people that are getting selfish in the games rather than pure evil.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, that was the end of episode 2. Yeah, I mean, it was alright. The zombie card game was a wee bit difficult, I think. I'll get a 6 out of 10. I thought it was alright. It was decent.
I'll give a 6 out of 10 as well, but I think another problem with it is that I think in the earliest, well, I mean, I know in the earlier seasons of this show, anyone could die. They proved that. See here at this point, who fucking believes that Arisu is genuinely going to die. Whatever team he's on at the end will survive.
Yeah,
and that's what.
Well, I mean, if they're going to copy Squid Game, maybe not.
Well, true, but we'll see how they go.
But he's getting to the end. Put it that way. He's getting to the final episode. Right, guys. 6 out of 10. Till next time. Peace.